Hello and welcome to another photo restoration tutorial from Image Restore. That's www.image-restore.co.uk, and my name's Neil Rhodes. Sorry I've got a cold today, but the photo restoration tutorials just can't wait. Right, we're going to look at replacing a background and matching the grain today. So this picture's of a married couple and it's a fairly grainy image. The important part of replacing a background is doing it convincingly. A lot of images you see floating around on the internet of restored photos have very soft, flat-filled backgrounds. They just don't match at all. We're going to have a look at doing that properly here. You can select your background or replace a background in many ways. Two of them are setting up a new layer, filling it with a colour, adding a mask, or you could select your image straight away with the selection tool here and put it on a new layer and then fill. Well, just because I'm doing a small sample here, I'm going to be selecting around this with the selection tool and putting it on a new layer and then filling with a color grey that I pick from the background of the image. So just select around some parts of the image here. There we go. And put that on a new layer. Now in tutorial 1 we looked at selecting and how important it was to make your selections based on the focus of the image. Now if you've seen that tutorial you'll know already that we have a quick look at a contrasting edge, count the pixels across the two contrasting colours, and it's about 2 pixels here. So from the selection menu, modify feather 2 pixels, pick a colour from the background, that grey there, and then we're going to fill the selection here. So we'll just zoom back out and have a little look at that. As you can see, we've got a block colour, but if we deselect, it's got a nice matching feathered edge from that matches the remaining image, but it's still not right. It's flat and uninteresting. We need to match the grain. So from the filters menu we'll select some noise and add some noise. Now you can move the sliders up and down, selecting monochrome to try and match the background grain or the foreground grain. And in this case I think I tried about 4 and that seemed to match. Let's just check the others. 2 not quite enough, 4's fairly good. So we'll go for 4 there on the uniform noise. And it's still a bit pronounced, it's still a bit sharp, so we'll soften that down a bit with a blur filter using the Gaussian blur, and let's have a look. No, too much there. It's not enough. I think the original value in there looks fairly good. 0.4. Let's just zoom out and have a look at that. No, that's not bad. There's several things you could do here. We could sort of match in some shadow if we wanted, make it a bit more convincing. We could lay on another texture from another photograph, maybe some trees or something that perhaps wasn't as grainy as it should be. Set the mode to darken, or even if we wanted, if the grain wasn't stark enough, you could add perhaps some brightness and contrast to the grain to make it more pronounced. You see how that's jumping out there. In fact, that does seem to match a bit better, a little bit more pronounced grain from here, matching here under his chin. So that instantly gives you a matching grain that matches the image. It's up to you how you fill the back of the photograph, whether you want to put as I say, trees in or just replace it with something completely different. If you had another photograph that you had that didn't have the right grain, you could add that in as well. Drop it into your selection, add this matching grain technique here and match the grain to the photo. With luck, with a bit of shading and correct contrast, it would be a pretty seamless drop in. Well, I hope this has been useful to you all, and see you back here again for another tutorial. Until then, take care.